Problem 2 here, we're trying to look, we want the matrix multiplication for this, and then we want to use matrices to solve it. Now, the way this is, to set it in matrix form and show the matrix multiplication what we're doing, what we're really doing here is I have a matrix. This part's a matrix and that's a matrix. So you're going to have one matrix right here and another one right here. Now in this case this involves two pieces. So this is a 2 by 2 matrix. This is simply 4, 7, 2, and 5. That's being multiplied by what? Well, it's being multiplied by this n and this b. Now what's going to happen here is if I do that first row times first column, you get 4n plus 7b. And then you come here and have 2n plus 5b. And that's exactly what we have written there. Now this equals the matrix 18, 12. Represents this 2 by 1 matrix. Now what we want to do is we want to be able to solve this. And we're going to go in a little bit onto the calculator and do it. But what we need to understand is this is what's happening. We're going to set this guy right here as matrix A. We're going to set this guy as matrix B. Now, you have A times this NB, which you're trying to solve to get what that is, and it's equal to that matrix B there. Now, to undo multiplying by matrix A, how would you undo it? You're going to multiply by its reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of A? The inverse of A. That's all we're going to do. But if I multiply the left side by the inverse of A, what do you have to multiply this guy by? The inverse of A. Whatever you do to one side of an equation, you must do to the other. So I've got to multiply him by inverse of A. Now I don't want to do it right here because this is a 2 by 1. And if you try to put a 2 by 2, you know you can't multiply those because the inner numbers don't match. This has to be right here. So you're going to have to do the inverse of A times B, and then that, what happens when I do this, it gives me our identity matrix, which are 1 down the diagonal, 0's in another spot, times NB, and it's going to give us this answer here. Now we're going to do that on the calculator in a minute. When I do that, here's what the calculator is going to spit out, 1, 2. That means n's value is 1, b's value is 2. And then we're done with the problem. And most students jump at that and just say, oh, okay, there it is. Well, understand that when you have the identity matrix times this, so when I have this matrix times that, you'll have 1 times n, which is 1n, plus 0 times b, which cancels out, equals 1. So you'll get that n is 1. When I come to second column times this, I have 0 times n, which is gone, plus 1 times b, which is just one single b, equals the 2. And that's why you basically get n is 1, b is 2. And that will be the solution here. Let's double check it. We said n is 1, b is 2. 4 times 1 plus 7 times 2, 14. 4. Yep. 1 and 2, that'd be 2, that'd be 10. Boom, gives it to us. And again, we'll show you on the calculator in a minute how that goes and sort of go over it again. But you need to understand what we're doing is we're putting this into matrix A and we're multiplying it by the inverse of A, matrix A, to cancel it out, which basically gives us the identity matrix. Whenever we do the one side of the equation, we do the other. So that's put in matrix B. We multiply this by the inverse of A, so we multiply the inverse of A. Boom, and out comes our answer. There you have it.
All right, here we are going to look at this problem on the calculator. What we have is I'm going to pull up the matrix. I hit second matrix. And it brings up some matrices that are already in there. It has a 2 by 2 in A and a 2 by 2 in B. And I'm going to go ahead and edit that first one. I want to go ahead and edit, so I'm just going to hit edit matrix A. So I hit that. It's a 2 by 2, so I hit enter, enter. Now I want to change it. On our thing it was a 4, enter, 7, enter, 2, enter, and 5, enter. That's what I want to store in matrix A. I'm going to go back. I'm now going to hit the second matrix button again. I want to go to matrix B. In that matrix we had the answers of 18 and 12. So we noticed that it was a 2 by 1, so I want to change it to a 2 by 1. So I'm going to go over to edit, hit enter. I screwed up, I'm sorry. Hit second matrix. Let's go over to edit. What I did wrong is I went and hit enter. I need matrix B, so I'm going to hit button 2. and I want this to be a 2 enter by 1 enter. You'll now see that it's a 2 by 1 matrix. I need to put in the numbers 18 enter, 12 enter. I now have those stored as we showed on the video, and so I have matrix A and matrix B. Now what I want to do, you'll notice if I go back to the home screen, if I pull up matrix A, enter, times it by the inverse of matrix A. I'm going to type matrix A, and then I hit the inverse button, and then hit enter. Notice it is that identity matrix of 1, 0, 0, 1. What we wanted to do was the inverse of matrix A times matrix B is what we did on the board there. So I'm going to go back to the matrix. I want to pull up matrix A, and I want to do the inverse of it. So I hit x to the negative 1 times matrix B. Second matrix, matrix B. Hit enter, and there are our answers of 1, 2. And that's how we'll do it each time. You don't really have to do A times the inverse of matrix A, because you know you're going to get the identity matrix. All you need to do is do the inverse of matrix A times matrix B, where A is the first part, where you have your A and B and C values if it's a 3 by 3. And then the second matrix B will always be those answers you have, which in this case was the problem. We had 18 and 12. So there you have the answers of 1 and 2. For N will be 1 and B will be 2.